Those of you that are advanced enough to remember, once upon a time, not only could you see a movie for under $1, you could get a whole family in for that same buck. Hi, I'm Scotty J, host and producer of a news show here on NWCT, kinda, not really, Trailer Trash TV, right here on Northwest Community TV, or wherever you might be happen to watch it. So without further ado, I'm here at the Heights Theater in Columbia Heights, Minnesota. Let's kick right into it. Well, as I was saying, I'm looking around here and I'm just looking at the pure history inside this place. We're at the Heights Theater in Columbia Heights, Minnesota, and just looking around, this is just the main lobby of the Heights. Obviously, lots of classic theatrical artwork, movie posters, original poster art. They have, this is one of, I want to say 2 or 3 grand pianos they have at the Heights. And it's just phenomenal, the amount of restoration time that the owners had taken with this. I spoke at great length with Tom, one of the co-owners, and he and his partner put a lot of fundage into this to restore the traditional old school movie house as we know it. We're going to be taking a look at more stuff at the Heights here in a little while, but let's kick into the trailers. That's what Trailer Trash TV is all about. So this first block, we're going to start with a little series of disaster films this time around. We're going to start out with something from 1929 called Noah's Ark, kicking into the John Huston not-so-classic, I'll explain afterwards, The Bible in the Beginning from 1966. We're going to be going into The Last Days of Pompeii from 1935. Devil at 4 O'Clock, classic Spencer Tracy film from 1961. Krakatoa East of Java, kind of a misnomer in this title, from 1969. And the last 2 films kind of go hand in hand. From 1936, we have San Francisco. And rounding out this block, the not-so-classic Dino De Laurentiis, excuse me, disaster epic, Earthquake. So check these out, and we'll be right back.
The flight of the pagans. See the flood that destroyed the world. Noah's Ark, a motion picture you'll always remember. Noah's Ark, the greatest spectacle of them all. Noah's Ark. Noah's Ark.
The wonder of creation, the spectacle of the Tower of Babel, the terror of Adam and Eve after the first sin, the shame of Sarah and her love for Abraham, the delight and drama of the story of Noah and the Ark. Peter O'Toole, Ava Gardner, Stephen Boyd, John Huston, George C. Scott, Richard Harris are among the great stars who lived the adventure of the Bible in the beginning.
Volcanoes have caused
Pompeii,
destroyed by fire and flame in a holocaust unequaled in 2,000 years. Is that rare film experience, an extraordinary adventure spectacle combining for the first time the dramatic talents of Frank Sinatra and Spencer Tracy.
Where are you from, tough guy? I hear echoes.
I've been around. What's it to you?
You spit your T's. Jersey, that would be. Jersey City, maybe, huh? I come from just across the river, Hell's Kitchen. We used to eat punks like you.
Maybe. That's when you had your teeth.
The Devil at 4 o'clock blends the huge-scale excitement of catastrophic natural forces with the intense drama of hot-blooded human conflict.
You interfering crud.
What kind of an animal are you?
I saw it and I liked it.
Harry!
The Devil at 4 o'clock bristles with a reality made possible only by actual location filming. The setting, a remote tropical island, a Pacific paradise, romantic, carefree, unmindful of the future, until sudden crisis demands drastic decision.
If you and these characters are brave enough to go up after those children, I'm willing to wait for you with my schooner. I'll wait till 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, no longer. 4 o'clock, we'll be here.
Only a man who thinks he has lost everything, and 3 men with nothing to lose, would risk a descent into hell.
When you jump out, count 10, and pull that ring. You soar like a bird.
But Harry, what if it doesn't open?
When you hit the ground, tell me about it, and I'll fix it.
Cataclysmic event in man's history. The eruption of the island volcano Krakatoa, east of Java. Its thunder traveled more than 3,000 miles. Swells from its 50-foot tidal wave were felt around the world. Now the motion picture screen captures a spectacle to stun the senses. This is Krakatoa, east of Java. And these are the treasure hunters locked together in its fantastic adventure. Maximilian Schell, Diane Baker, Brian Keith, Barbara Worrell, and Zal Mineo. Krakatoa, east of Java, transforms history's most awesome event into the screen's most spectacular achievement. Rated G.
Even if...
Surround, your most startling motion picture experience. A city crumbles. You feel it as well as see it in Surround. You'll be as close to experiencing a real earthquake as you possibly can. Starring Charlton Heston and a superb cast. An event. Earthquake in Surround. Starring Charlton Heston, Ava Gardner, George Kennedy, Lorne Greene, Richard Roundtree. Earthquake. Even more terrific in Surround.
You know, they talk about having never made it until you played Carnegie Hall. Well, being a native Minnesotan, you haven't made it till you played the Heights. This is what I've heard. Well, as you can see by my surroundings, just looking at the restoration factor here, we got basically entirely restored movie house. This is what theaters were meant to be. You can keep your megaplexes, you can keep your megaplexes, your multiplexes, you know who I'm talking about. This is how the movies were meant to be experienced. Not only movies, they had live stage shows in the day. As you can see around me, if you look at the curtains that I'm standing in front of, we have the one patterned one and the traditional red velvet. These were known as Act 1 and Act 2 curtains. Basically, if a film was showing between reels, the curtains would come down, pipe organ would kick in until the next reel, till the next act, if you will, would come into play. The thing that's fascinating about the Heights, I got to thank some people first and foremost. I got to thank Tom, the co-owner of the Heights, for letting me in and letting me do this for you. It's something I've been wanting to do for a long time because I believe in the tradition of the Hollywood film and the preservation of the Hollywood film. There's been a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of sweat, and a lot of love put into the restoration of the Heights Theater. If you want more information on stuff that I've been talking about, please click on their website. I'm going to be repeating this an awful lot over the course of this season. HeightsTheater.com. They've got not only first-run movies, they have showcases, they have silent film showcases with live organ accompaniment, just like it used to be. It's just really a cool place, and it's so affordable yet. You can still take a family of four out here for a small penny, compared to the megaplexes where you can plop down $30-40 and that just covers the tickets and the popcorn. But before I get off track, before we went to, we just came back from this first block of trailers this time around, Noah's Ark from 1929. Very groundbreaking in the respect of the flood scenes, etc. The Bible. John Huston's epic disaster, and I mean that literally. One of the few times you'll definitely read the book first. I think you know what I'm talking about. Last Days of Pompeii from 1935. Interesting little factoid about this. The same people that did the effects in this one did the effects for King Kong. Something to put in your cap. Devil at 4 o'clock from 1961. Proving that a star-studded lineup does not make for a good epic. Enough said. Krakatoa east of Java. Okay, despite the title, look on the globe. Krakatoa is actually west of Java. Don't ask. San Francisco from 1936. You know the story if you read the history books. Earthquake from 1974. Basically, any Hollywood actor that was looking to jumpstart their careers, relaunch their careers, appeared in this movie. Lots of bit players, lots of familiar faces to TV, lots of out-of-work Hollywood actors at the time. And it actually did win a couple awards. It won 2 Oscars for Best Sound and Best Special Effects. So with that being said, as much as I hate to do it, I'm going to depart the stage. And I think we're going to probably check out the rest of the theater when we come back.
What's in this box? It's something for you, boys and girls. Can you guess what it is? Well, here's a hint. It's the latest thing in Space Patrol equipment. Something new and different that you saw Cadet Happy using on today's program. Can't tell you what it is because right now it's a Space Patrol secret. But get pencil and paper ready quick because at the end of today's program, I'll be allowed to tell you what it is and how you can get it. So watch closely and get set. This is the greatest value ever offered on Space Patrol. Meantime, see if you can guess what's in this box. What's in this box? What's in this box? Space Patrol equipment you've ever had a chance to own. Biggest news for boys and girls in the history of Space Patrol. Greatest value ever offered on this program. Space Patrol Space Binoculars. The amazing new instrument that makes everything in the distance look nearer, bigger, and clearer. The binoculars you wear on your head. Not goggles, not a mask, not celluloid, not cardboard, but real 4-power fixed-focus plastic binoculars you can see way off in the distance with. And boy, oh boy, gang, space binoculars make you look like a man from Mars. See how close this scene of Mount Rushmore looks through space binoculars? Well, take a look at how really far away it is. Yes, sir, this is how you'd see it without space binoculars. So, gang, send for these terrific space binoculars right away. And I do mean today. This offer is for a limited time only. Here's the serial you need to get them. Just send your name and address with 25 cents in coin and an instant Ralston box top to Space Patrol, Box 812, St. Louis, Missouri. If you don't think your binoculars are tops, return them. We'll return your money. That's Space Patrol, Box 812, St. Louis, Missouri. This offer good only in the USA and may be withdrawn at any time.
And welcome back. You know, like I was saying before the break, great pains have been taken to restore back to traditional movie house here at the Heights. I'm just looking around and I'm blown away by the amount of gilded trim, the curtains, the tapestries themselves on the walls, the chandeliers. It's glorious. It's a beautiful sight to behold. If you've never been to the Heights Theater, now's the time to check it out. HeightsTheater.com. It'll get you directions. It'll get you show times. It'll show you what's playing, what's coming up, et cetera, et cetera. But back to the show. We're launching into something a little lighter this season on Trailer Trash TV. Back from, Scotty J's Trailer Trash ended the last couple of seasons with lots of horror and sci-fi, and I kind of got off track, so I wanted to do something different this year. We're going to launch into some classic comedy once again. This season, our second block is going to be classic comedy. We're going to start out with some Abbott Costello. This second block, I'm just going to rattle through it so we can let the trailers speak for themselves. We're going to start off with Buck Privates from 1941, in the Navy, also from 1941. From there, we're going to be going into a trailer for an actual a military training film that was derived from a film of Abbott Costello. The name of the trailer is called Life with the Flying Cadets, taken from a movie that Abbott Costello had done called Keep 'Em Flying. This was actually done in 1941. So with that said, I'm gonna have somebody around here give me some popcorn, maybe a soda or something. So keep your eye out for what's coming up, and we'll be back to chat when we come back.
Years old and you're in love with a little girl, say 10 years old.
This one's gonna be a flip.
Well, wait till I finish.
Now I'm going around with a 10-year-old girl.
Wait a minute.
You got a good idea where I'm gonna wind up.
And for music, the song-stational creators of boogie-woogie rhythm. The top trio of radio, records, and screen, the Andrews Sisters.
Can't blow a note unless the bass and guitar is playing with them. He makes the company jump when he plays reveille. He's the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B. He was the boogie-woogie bugle boy of Company B.
Now, 1, 2, 3, 4. Bingo. Quiet. Well, I had it. Never mind that. Let's go around. Let's go around. Why don't you make up your mind?
No cutting in, sorry.
The captain wants to see you at once.
Oh, now, wait a minute. Don't give me that okay. Wait a minute. What? Where's Herbie? Where's... How did you get up in that tree?
How did I get up in a tree? I sat on it when it was an acorn.
We're 130 million strong, and we're sticking with you right along. This is really your lucky day. So, buddy, what you say? Just throw your hat to the sky, up where the stars that fly, and keep your country rolling it high. You're a lucky fellow, Mr. Smith.
How do you like that? Not a cop within a mile from here. Go get me a cop.
Sure.
What?
It's Laugh Ahoy, my hearties, with the new comedy rage of the nation. Those gay, goofy, hilarious nitwits of the Navy, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello, in a bigger, better, funnier show than Buck Private, in the Navy.
Taste that dish.
Shall we? They'll torpedo your troubles and blitz your blues. Aided by this grand cast of fun and music makers. Dick Powell, those song-stational boogie-woogie singers, the Andrews Sisters, lovely Claire Dodd, Dick Foran, Butch and Buddy, Shemp Howard, the Condos Brothers, in the merriest Navy musical that ever hit the screen.
What do I care about the petty officer? I got no use for a petty officer.
No, I think. Could this possibly belong to you, sailor?
Hey, hey. Attention to bridge. Man battleships. Launch aircraft.
So long, goodbye, sailor, see you again. 'Cause you're off to see the world and see what makes it tick. And earn your promotion for 2 weeks. So long, but not forever, goodbye. We'll see you again when you put back into port. So long, bon voyage to you, 'cause you're off to see the world. We're in the Navy, watchdogs of liberty. We're in the Navy, drop the happy-go-luckies under the sea. First in the line and that's where the deck. Any galoot who wants the truth will get it in the next. So gangway, don't run about. We're in the Navy now.
Young America takes to the sky. And today, a few short months after intense training started, this country is well on the way to having the world's finest air fleet. Sleek bombers, fast pursuit ships, transports, and scouting planes. These ships are manned by crews who short weeks ago were cadets at Army Training Academy. In the scenes that follow, partly fact and partly fiction, you will see what life with the flying cadets is like. For many, the beginning of a promising career.
Go back those shoulders. Well, make a move. Look straight ahead, mister. Turn around. about pilots, and I doubt if you're very good mechanics.
There must be something around here that we can do.
Sure, Major. There's thousands and thousands of guys like Blackie and I that want to do something to serve their country. Maybe we haven't got training, but we're willing to try. Honestly, we'll try hard, too. It all don't mean nothing if you don't give us this chance. After all, our heart's in the right places.
I understand all that.
Look, Major, when I was a little bit of a kid, I was too fat to play on a baseball team, so they made me the bat boy. And then when the football season came around, I couldn't run fast enough to make the football team, so they made me the water boy. And now, Major, when you're training the biggest team that we ever had, there surely must be a place for Blackie and I, maybe as a water boy or a bat boy. Won't you, Major, give us a chance?
So you guys wanted to get in the air service, huh? Well, brother, you're in it. Now get busy and taxi that plane off the field. Come on, you heard what he said. Taxi the plane off the field.
Taxi! Taxi!
What are you doing?
Oh, taxi!
What's the matter with you?
Gotta get a cab. Get the plane off.
No, there's nothing of the kind over here.
Okay. Which way are we going? This way?
That way. What's the matter now?
Can't budge it.
Come on, get on that wheel.
Okay. Wait a minute. Contact! Contact!
What are you talking about?
Oh, ain't you a aviator? Contact.
All right.
That means...
Well, get a hold of it. Come on. Come on. Get it. What's wrong now? What is the... What's the matter? What's the matter? What's the matter? What? Oh, all right. Under the supervision of competent instructors, cadets receive the finest training in the world. They learn the technique of flying.
Boy, it's cold. Why do they put air cooling systems in these hangars? I'm going out and get my jacket.
You know, watching these trailers, it just brings back so many memories. I mean, when I was a kid, which wasn't really that long ago, I had the Terrace Theater in Robbinsdale, Minnesota. It was very much like this at one time. Terrace Theater has since met its demise. So many of these multiplexes and these mega multiplexes have basically taken over the planet. You lose the whole flavor of the theater-going experience now. Basically, you're going to soak up your life savings going to a movie now. And, you know, watching these trailers brings you back to what movies were. We just saw Buck Privates from 1941. It was their first starring film together, and some of their best routines by far in this film. In the Navy from 1941. There's one key routine in this film that you have to watch the movie for. You get to find out how 7 times 13 equals 28. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check out the movie for yourself and you'll see. It works. The flying cadets from Keep 'em Flying, I basically explained the whole thing before we kicked into it. It was taken from Keep 'em Flying, like I said, and transformed into a military training form for the United States Air Force. So with that said, we're going to come back with a group of trailers, actually kind of more of a spoof from an independent film company from New York that has, believe it or not, had a showcase at the Heights Theater here not too long ago. We're going to be back with a little preview of Troma films when we come back.
Witnessing the creation of an incredible new world, a world of unbelievable excitement and fun, the world of the Dingalings. The Dingalings, here they come. The whole fantastic bunch of them. The most incredible toys you've ever seen. All new, all different. Holy smoke, what's going on? It's Dingaling Fireman coming to the rescue. He's got his own built-in pumper to save the day. Dingaling Shoe Shine gives you the brightest shine you've ever seen. Dingaling Answer Man's got all the answers in his head. Push the lever and he'll tell your future. Dingaling Spy hides in the shadows and discovers your secrets with his hidden camera. Here's a real champion. Dingaling Boxer packs a solid punch. There's a left, a right, an uppercut. Look at them go! Dingaling Rocky is right on target. He's one sharpshooter that doesn't miss. There's Dingaling Chef, and here comes Dingaling Gopher. Dingaling Chef salts your food, and Dingaling Gopher serves it to you. Dingaling Claw, lifting, carrying. He's the worker of the future. Dingaling Construction Worker keeps the whole place shaken with his jumping jackhammer. And Dingaling Policeman upholds the law with his whistle and nightstick. The Dingalings walk like this and glide like this on the ground or on the special Dingaling Skyways. Forward, right side up, upside down, defying all laws of gravity. Uphill and downhill with loops, returns, over hills and valleys. They even drive their own Dingaling vehicles. You've never seen anything like it. But wait, here comes the greatest Dingaling of them all, presenting King Ding, mighty ruler of the Dingaling world. What's this little guy doing? He's in King Ding's elevator and is riding up through the inner power plant. You see it all on the incredible closed-circuit TV screen built right into King Ding's back. Now he's getting close to the head. He's there. He becomes King Ding's actual brain. Watch him move his control levers and make the mighty King Ding go. With boys all over America right behind him to help him perform his tasks and rule the Dingaling world. What makes all this fun and excitement in the Dingaling world possible? This, the Dingaling Power Pack. Just one power pack is all you need to make any of the Dingalings go. The most fantastic invention you've ever seen. It snaps in and out quickly and easily. With a price for the power pack and the Dingalings you find hard to believe. And that price will make it a year-round seller. The Dingalings, a whole new concept created for fun and excitement, complete with special skyways, vehicles, and accessories. And a $3 million TV campaign will introduce the world of the Dingalings for what it is. The most incredible fun idea ever to hit the toy market. Stand back, world. There's a whole new one on the way. The wild, wonderful, wacky world of the Dingalings.
Okay, as I said before the break, our third block is going to be devoted almost entirely to Troma Pictures on Trailer Trash TV this year. Before we talk about Troma, I have to thank a lot of people. I got to thank Northwest Community TV for all their help and support over these last several seasons of Trailer Trash, now Trailer Trash TV. I got to thank all the other cable systems that are currently carrying it. And by all means, if you're interested in Trailer Trash TV, or if you're a programmer in another cable system and want to pass the show along, please, by all means, do so. And either way, let me know what you think of the show. I'm trying some different stuff this year, and I'm hoping it's working. If you want to let me know what you think, you can reach me at sjtrailertrash@yahoo.com, and let me know what you think. I'm having a blast. This has just been a major rush for me this season at the Heights, and I'm going to do probably the first first portion of the season from the Heights on location, and we're going to do a lot of different stuff this year. So back on track with Troma. Troma Pictures is probably the pinnacle of independent filmmakers, film companies. Started, owned, and operated by one Lloyd Kaufmann. It's catered more to the horror and sci-fi genre. Yeah, they've got a lot of splash and gore films, but all of them are associated with a lot of dark humor as well. There have been some Troma films that have had elements of them shot here. If you talk to Rock and Roll Ray, who's major personality and major advocate for independent filmmakers, who had a showcase on St. Anthony, Maine and Minneapolis, Minnesota, has not only produced for Troma films, but had some bit parts with some of them as well. A local Minneapolis band, Flip, has played a college house band in one particular Troma film. So, I mean, any independent filmmakers, actors, producers, anything you have with independent filmmaking, Troma Pictures, can give you a lot of a good head start, and it's something different from the typical overblown Hollywood budgeted epics that don't seem to do nearly as well as their budget seems to dictate. But with that said, we're going to launch into a little spoof that Troma Pictures had called Who Killed Toxie? And it stars one toxic Avenger for those Troma hardcore fans out there. So with that said, once this is over, we're going to take a break, and we're going to be back with Cliffhanger Corner. Stay tuned.
Hello, Troma fans. I'm Dyspepsia, your waitress come action news reporter for today's Tromaville Cafe, serving you up another top-terrific classic Troma movie.
Dyspepsia.
Oh my God, today I'm excited. Oh no, and delighted. I just cannot hide it. We are showing one of the greatest Troma films ever made.
Dyspepsia.
The film that made Troma a household name, The Toxic Avenger.
Hey, I got some bad news.
Oh, Steve, you silly. What could be bad on a Troma-mendous day like this?
It's Toxie.
Toxie?
He's dead.
Doctor, what caused him to shed this mortal coil?
Well, I'm not sure exactly, but early signs show it to be leprosy.
Leprosy?
Yes, I'm sorry. Shows all the hallmarks. Discoloration around the eyes, stiff limbs, sour stench, bubbly-wobbly skin.
Yeah, but he was like that when he was alive, and there are knives sticking out of his back.
I have an explanation for that. Toxie was in the kitchen making a detergent sandwich.
How do you know it was detergent?
Detergent? They call me the Prince of Tide. He was making a detergent sandwich when suddenly he felt a piercing pain in his left shoulder.
Oh, a piercing pain in my left shoulder.
He knew right away it must be leprosy.
Ow! Leprosy!
Then he did something strange which I can't explain. And to make matters worse, a giant Tromosaurus jumped out and bit him on the neck.
Ugh.
This didn't really affect him much. Then he bumped his head on the cabinet door.
Gee, I bet that's gonna bruise.
And then he knocked over the stand-up container holding the knives. Due to the mystery known as gravity, all the knives fell into his back.
Oh, my back.
And then he stumbled out of the kitchen, up 3 flights of stairs, down the hallway, into the elevator where he cut through the women's room and died right here beside us. Leprosy is a terrible thing.
Doctor, where did you get your degree?
The prestigious Ingmar Bergman Psychic School of Surgery, Plumbing, and Board Game Science. Why?
Because any real doctor would know we don't keep our knives in a container on the counter. We keep them in a drawer.
Then there's only one answer. After Toxie died of leprosy, some sicko came and stuck a bunch of knives in his dead body.
Oh, God, no! And now, join Tromaville Cafe in presenting that all-time great Troma classic, The Toxic Avenger. And after the show, find out what major creepazoid stuck knives into Toxie's dead body. Enjoy the show. It's from Troma, of course. Look, it's the president of Troma Studios and creator of The Toxic Avenger, Lloyd Kaufmann.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, Lloyd, what are you doing with all those knives?
I've been taking acupuncture classes down at the YMCA. Toxie's been letting me practice on them.
Him! He's the one who stuck those knives in poor Toxie.
That's it, pal. For what you did to my friend Toxie, I'm gonna tie your wrist to the rear fender of my Chevy Noda, and I'm gonna drag you around the city.
We'll strip your face off!
You suck! Let's go! Get on, gang! Get on!
At least now, my dear friend, you've been avenged. Toxic avenged.
Hey, this is Pepsi. Enough with the lousy wordplay, huh?
You're alive!
Lloyd was right. This acupuncture really does give you the sleep of kings.
Oh, gosh.
What is it?
We thought Lloyd killed you. And right now, they're torturing him to death.
Oh, well. Another one of the Troma team's crazy mix-ups.
We'll see you all next time on Tromaville Cafe, brought to you by Troma Studios, producers of the world's wildest independent films. Say goodbye, Toxie.
Goodbye, Toxie.
Tootsie Roll Pop's Puppet Show.
Howdy, howdy, in Buffalo Bob, and hi to all you moppers. We're the candy treats that can't be beat. We're the Tootsie Roll Poppers. We Tootsie Roll Pops are really dandy because we are two kinds of candy.
That's right. On the outside of each pop, there's fruit-flavored hard candy.
I'm cherry. I'm orange.
I'm grape.
I'm pineapple.
I'm chocolate. And inside each pop, there is a special treat, a chocolatey, chewy Tootsie Roll that you will love to eat. Kids, you'll love them. You sure will. So ask Mom to buy Tootsie Roll Pops in this party pack at groceries and supermarkets. 10 delicious pops in assorted flavors. So kids, for your candy store, just make a dash. Get Tootsie Roll Pops as quick as a flash.
To become a real marksman. Well, it's easy and fun if you practice with this Lone Ranger rapid-fire revolver. See? 6 shots without reloading. Here's a tip good marksmen know. Always bring your gun down on the target. Squeeze the trigger gently. Remember, play safe and never aim at another person. Always at the target.
Boys and girls, get your exciting Lone Ranger rapid-fire revolver from Cheerios, the wonderful tasting cereal made from oats. Toasted golden crisp, delicious through and through. A real power breakfast with power protein to help you grow strong. And energy vitamin B1 for Go Power. This special Cheerios package tells you how to send for your Lone Ranger gun. With 6 silver bullet rubber bands and its own target for only 50 cents and 2 Cheerios box tops. So get yours right away from Cheerios.
Mattel Toy Makers presents Maddie's Funnies with Beanie and Cecil, starring the king of toys, Maddie Mattel, and Sister Belle, who bring to all you grown-up girls and boys, Maddie's Funnies.
Oh, Chatty Cathy, oh, Mattel's famous talking doll. We pull the ring and use 11 different things. Let's play house. Please change my dress. We can change your dresses now, goodness knows. Now you've got a wardrobe full of pretty clothes. For nursery school, you're crisp and cool. For summer, there's a playtime set. In winter, your collar's fur. In a coat as cute as you can get. I love you. You love your mamas, and they love you 3 times pajamas.
Just pull the ring. You never know what she'll say next.
Tell me a story. The only story now left to tell is a Chatty Cathy made by my pal.
You'll find Chatty Cathy and her costume sets wherever toys are sold.
You can tell it's Patel, it's well.
And welcome back to Trailer Trash TV. I'm still your host, Scotty J. We kind of changed things up a little bit, as you've been seeing. Something new we're doing. As you see, the show is longer than its traditional 60 minutes. We're going to see how this goes for a while, but I hope you like what you're seeing. And if you do, let me know, SJ Trailer Trash at Yahoo. And right now, we're going to be cutting into one of the favorite segments in recent years of Trailer Trash, that being Cliffhanger Corner. Last year, Trailer Trash had the entire 1949 Columbia serial Batman and Robin. This year we're doing something a little different. We're going to play a different chapter from a different cliffhanger every week. And we're going to launch this season's Cliffhanger Corner with a 1934 serial. And oh shoot, I don't have the title with me, but it stars one Clyde Beatty. And it's 1934 mascot serial. So with that said, we'll kick into this, and I will be right back with the all-encompassing, all-time favorite of Trailer Trash viewers everywhere, the Classroom Classic.
Lost Jungle is an island where lions, tigers, bears, and other wild animals are found living together. How did they get there? Scientists declare that Asia and Africa were once joined by land, which has sunk into the ocean. Only the tops of a few high mountains remain above the water as islands.
That was a close call.
I'll say it was. I'm glad you remembered animals are afraid of fire. But I don't see anything of Sharky.
Oh, it would suit me swell if we never saw that guy again.
Oh, Sharky's not such a bad fella. We have got to find him if he's still alive.
Don't kill me. Don't kill me. I'll go away. I won't touch your treasure. I swear it.
Treasure? Take it easy, old man. Nobody's going to hurt you.
Water. Water. My canteen. Over there. You're not one of the ship's crew?
Ship's crew? What do you mean?
The ship that brought me here. They're down the stockade. We should go down there and tell Captain Robertson that I've found
the treasure?
Yes. The treasure of Kaufmann.
Where is it?
It's here. In the...
Well, Mr. Explorer, it was certainly nice of you to leave this map telling me where the treasure was hidden. Now I can buy a circus of my own. I'll show Beatty who's the greatest animal trainer in the world.
That stockade can't be so very far from here. And the ship, too. Well, if I'm ever going to get off this island, I'd better get down and make friends with Captain Robinson and his crew.
If Sharkey was alive, we would have found some trace of him. He must have jumped before they crashed and drowned.
That's probably what happened to him, all right.
A coconut. Hey, what's the idea? Look out, here comes another one. Thanks, pal. Come down and have lunch with us sometime.
Yeah, and bring your own coconut.
That's service for you. Lunch is ready.
Do you mind if I eat out on the veranda?
Help, Clyde! Help! Well, wait a minute. What's your hurry?
Don't stop me, Clyde. There's a bear after me.
It's funny, he's running the other way.
He is?
That's the most amazing thing I ever saw. A bear in the same jungle with lions. What sort of country is this we've landed in?
You tell me.
What was that? Hyenas, the scavengers of the jungle.
We had some of the circus, but they didn't sound like that.
They weren't hungry then.
Wouldn't that give a circus crowd the thrill of their lives?
Nature's got us beat. She stages many things in the jungle we can't do in a big cage.
There's sure all sorts of wild animals around here. You should feel at home.
I'd sure like to take some of them back alive.
Hey, if we're going to take ourselves back alive, we'd better find a way to get off this island.
Look, Larry, a cartridge. See how bright it is? It couldn't have been there very long.
That means there's somebody besides us on the island. Come on, let's look him up.
How are we going to find him in this jungle?
You're a great animal trainer and all that, Clyde, but it takes an ex-trapeze artist like me to know his way around this kind of country.
What do you mean?
See yonder tree? I shall scale it and see what I shall see. See? Oh, boy, I see some huts with a high fence around them.
Do you see any people?
No, but I see smoke rising from one of the huts.
Here comes the cook now.
Oh, good.
Did you hear anything in the captain's hut?
Yeah, give us a lowdown.
Kirby's telling him plenty. And the skipper ain't taking it laying down either.
Kirby, do you mean to tell me that you, the first mate of my ship, are taking sides with the crew?
I don't blame them for squawking, Captain. The ship was chartered by that explorer for a 6-month cruise. And we've been on this island 8 months.
Well, we're not going to sail until Professor Livingston shows up.
He was supposed to be back 2 weeks ago. But if you ask me, I don't think he'll ever show up. One of those jungle cats got him just like they got Connors and Dixon and the rest.
I'm not going to leave him on the island, and that's final.
Either you're going to leave him on the island, or we're going to leave you. Now, you've got until tomorrow noon to make up your mind, and that's final. From myself and the crew.
There's your stockade.
Oh, boy, am I glad to see a place with a fence around it.
Just you wait, Nero, when I get you. Stop him! Stop him, please! Thank you so much. Why, where did you come from? We didn't know there was anybody but ourselves on the island.
We crashed in an airship. My friend and I... Larry! Where are you?
Help, Clyde, help!
He's fallen in one of the animal traps.
Get me out of here, will you?
How in the world did you get in there?
Well, if you must know, I fell in.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I hope you're not hurt, Mr.
Oh, pardon me. This is my friend, Larry Henderson. Miss
I'm Ruth Robinson.
Miss Robinson.
Glad to meet you, Miss Robinson. But would you mind asking your friend to give me a hand out of here?
How can I when I don't even know his name?
Oh, pardon me. That's Mr. Clyde Beatty.
Glad to meet you, Mr. Beatty.
Say, he's a cute little fellow. What's his name?
I call him Nero. He's taken a fancy to you.
It's certainly a surprise to find someone like you on this island.
Hey! How about getting me out of here?
So you see, Mr. Beatty, I'd feel like a murderer if I left the island without definite proof that Professor Livingston is dead.
I understand how you feel, Captain.
Heaven knows. I'll be glad to leave this terrible place.
You've been a mighty brave girl. You've no idea of the hardships we've endured. This island is overrun with lions,
tigers and all sorts
Lions and tigers? In the same jungle? Why, that's impossible.
Who's that?
Tiger.
He's fallen into one of our pits.
I know exactly how he feels. Don't shoot him, Captain. I'd like to take him alive.
Alive? How?
If you can let us have some rope to make a net.
We've a ship's net for loading cargo. Would that do?
Yes, that's just the thing.
And after you get him in the net, what are you going to do with him?
Build a cage and put him in it.
Oh.
Look, Dad, Kirby's going to shoot the tiger.
Don't forget, Kirby, this skin belongs to me.
Say, what's the big idea? I'm sorry I had to do this, but I want that tiger alive.
You want? And, who are you?
All right, Kirby. Mr. Beatty plans to take some wild animals back to his circus.
Okay, if you say so. Come on, Lloyd.
Hey, fella, lend me a hand with the net, will you? And I'll slip you a couple of passes to the circus.
Listen, I've seen all the wild animals I want to see on this island, and I don't care for freaks.
Get a hold of the corners. Don't drop it now until I give the word. And be sure you keep clear, or he'll drag you in. Now!
How do you like that? You're going to meet a lot of new friends when you get back to the circus. Oh, it's no use. That's no way to act. Nobody will like you.
What's caught in the rope?
I'll have you free in a minute.
Make it 30 seconds. I'm slipping.
That was a close call.
And let that be a lesson, please.
I'll have some of the men build a cage for the tiger.
See, Nero? Someday you're going to be as big as that tiger.
That's if you're a good boy and eat your spinach.
Come on, young fellow. I'm going to put you to bed. Here comes Dad. Looks like he's had a satisfactory talk with the crew.
It's all settled. We're starting in an hour. Small searching parties will comb the island thoroughly. If Livingston's alive, we'll find him.
Didn't the professor ever say anything that would give you a clue to where he has gone?
Well, he did tell Ruth and me something about a buried city he'd found. Kaymore, I think he called it.
You mean he's one of those goofy guys that searches ruins for buried treasure?
As a matter of fact, he did tell me in confidence that he expected to find a treasure there.
And that's where we should search first. You know how to get there?
I know the way. The professor showed me a map he had drawn in his diary.
Tiger's loose.
Get into a hut quick, all of you.
You'll be killed.
Get your rifle, Kirby.
You heard him ask me not to shoot the tiger, didn't you?
The cannon's name is Johnny Reb. Hurrah, hurrah. Give him a hearty welcome and hurrah, hurrah. Old men will cheer, boys will shout, the ladies they will all turn out and we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home. The hero's name is Johnny Reb. Hurrah, hurrah. Most famous cannon you can get. Hurrah, hurrah. Oh, Johnny Reb is ready now. Load him up. Hurrah! And we'll all feel gay when Johnny comes marching home.
Be sure you get Johnny Reb, Remco's authentic Civil War cannon. $11.98, complete with loader, cannonballs, tow rope, and battle flag. Remember, every boy wants a Remco toy, and so do girls.
Gaylord! Gaylord! Gaylord, you look kind of crazy, you move kind of lazy. See what he'll do. Gaylord, when you pull his leash, he'll walkity, walk with you.
Gaylord the pup is full of tricks. Watch. Back up, Gaylord. Atta boy. Now climb, Gaylord. Up, up. Now fetch your bone. Got it. Good boy, Gaylord.
Gaylord, you look kind of crazy, you move kind of lazy. See what he'll do. Gaylord, when you pull his leash, he'll walkity, walk with you.
Gaylord comes with a bone of his own. He's a wonderful toy. He's ideal.
Gaylord, when you pull his leash, he'll walkity, walk with you. Easter!
Hey, welcome back. Before we kick into Classix this season, this is really cool because I did some digging, did some researching, and this year's Classroom Classics, on the heels of last year's Sex and Drugs, well, we're gonna go back into social studies and driver's ed. Interesting combination, yes. So we're gonna launch right into it this week with a driver's ed film from 1937, which was actually put out by one of the major car companies, called Formations. And after that, we're going to be, we're going to be going into a social development film, for lack of a better term. Skipper Learns a Lesson. So let's check these out. And on behalf of myself and everybody else involved with Trailer Trash, we'll see you next time out.
the wings of the air service. Have you ever wondered how Uncle Sam's pilots keep such accurate formations? Handling these flying engines in flight formation calls for the highest type of skill. Perfect coordination of mind and muscle is required merely to fly. But the formation flyer has to do even more. He has to fly his own plane automatically while he keeps his mind on the one ahead. He sees what's going to happen before each movement starts. A moment's hesitation would be just too much. For advance information on what the next move will be, he watches the control surfaces of the commander's plane. In close formation, he even watches the hands of the pilot next to him. If all the planes in the formation could fly 5 miles apart, it would be safer. But close formation training is important. Formation maneuvering is necessary for defense. The group is able to protect itself when each plane covers another's blind spot. To offset the element of danger, the flyer relies upon alertness. It is this constant vigilance that makes formation flying possible. On the ground, too, there are formations. Wherever automobiles are driven in numbers, there are the problems of many drivers close together. Safety for each driver depends on the alertness of all. If all roads were a mile wide, it would be fine. Then cars could travel a mile apart. But our highways aren't that wide. For the safety of all who ride in automobiles, all the care the formation flyer practiced in the air must be used on the ground. The formation driver has a bigger job than the formation flyer. He has to keep his mind on 4 cars at once. The car he rides in, the car ahead, the car behind, and the car around the corner he can't see. The careful driver keeps the flyer's view of his entire formation in mind at all times. There's nothing difficult about that. You understand it, don't you?
Why, no. How can you be in the car and get an airplane view at the same time?
That's a fair question. The idea is to keep a picture in your mind of what you're doing without taking your attention off your immediate driving problems. You may need a little practice. Suppose you get in this car and try it out. Maybe that will make it easier to understand, and you'll be a better driver for it.
Why, me? I've never had an accident.
Good. But get in anyway, just for practice. You can drive this nice white car.
Might as well try it. There we are. How do you start this thing? Oh, all you do is step on the gas. Well, here goes. Let's get out of this parking lane.
Wait a minute.
Haven't even started yet.
You've started plenty. Let's get up above and let the airplane view show us what might have happened if you hadn't stopped. See that white car pulling out from the curb? That's you. This is a picture of what you were doing just a moment ago. Now let's see what could have happened. By cutting around a double-parked car, you might force a car coming up behind you into a car coming in the other direction. Before you cut into traffic, there are 4 things to think about. Look behind you, look ahead of you, remember the corners where the 4th car may be, and then signal plainly what you're going to do.
Look behind, look ahead, remember the corners, signal plainly.
Right. It only takes a second longer, and we're off to a good start. Now let's go out Main Street and get into the country.
Let's see now. It's Main Street I want, isn't it? Better be getting... Uh-oh. There it is. Turn right.
Just a moment. Before you make that turn, let's get our airplane view. There's your car again, the white one. And here's another bad spot you could have been in if you hadn't stopped. When you cut in front of a car, you force that car into the curb, or if you try to dodge it, you'll find yourself in trouble with the car around the corner. You have to get in the right lane before making a turn. It may mean going a block farther in a case like this, but it's a lot safer.
Fellow slips once in a while.
And someday, once may be too much. We're not allowed slips in this business. Let's get on our way.
Well, wonder who'll win the game today. Look at that guy ahead, poking along. I'll pass him in a hurry.
Wait a minute. Remember all 4 cars and get an airplane picture of what might happen before you try to pass this car. There's your white car behind the 2 black cars. The 4 cars aren't always in the same position, but they're still part of your formation. Now watch. The car ahead of you had a right to pass the car that's stopping, but you should wait and keep on your own side of the street. You must keep your mind on more than 1 car ahead, on as many as necessary for the protection of your formation.
1 car, more cars. Mm-hmm. It's a nice day anyway. Wonder what we'll have for dinner. Why, that fellow looks like... It is. It's Joe. Hey there, Joe.
Watch out behind. Remember the 4 cars. Let's go up again and let the airplane view show us what might have happened here. The white car you're driving is in front this time. Can you see what's going to happen? Let's watch. When you decide to stop, get over to the curb where you belong and let people know what you're doing so this won't happen. If you must loaf along or stop, stay close to the curb. And always use the proper signal before stopping, passing, or backing up.
Swell place. Must cost a lot to keep it up. Wonder how much...
Watch what you're doing.
Uh-oh. That voice again. There isn't any traffic. What's wrong this time?
You're not keeping your mind on your driving. And you haven't kept that airplane view in mind. We must be just as careful on the highway as on city streets. See what might happen to you here. Remember that car around the corner. Let's watch warning signs and slow up for crossroads and curves. Anytime we're behind the wheel of a car, the important things are to look where we're going, think what we're doing, and keep our minds on our formation.
Well, that airplane view is sort of clever, and it may help me to keep my record good.
Right. Always remember the 4 cars. The car we're riding in, the car ahead of us, the car behind us, and the car around the corner we can't see. Keeping a complete view of our position in mind at all times will keep us out of trouble. We drivers can reach a new high in safety when we keep the ordinary rules of watchful and careful operation.
And remember all 4 cars.
Yes, all 4 cars.
Once upon a time, in a neighborhood pretty much like yours, perhaps, there were some children who played together all the time. There was Betty, Mike, Pete, and Larry. They had lots of fun digging in a vacant lot. One day, a new girl moved into the neighborhood. Her name was Susan, and she had a dog whose name was Skipper. Skipper was a cute little dog, and Susan was very fond of him. She liked to pet him and play with him. She liked to teach him tricks, too. Of course, Skipper loved Susan. He liked to play with her, and he liked to do the tricks she'd taught him. But fond as Susan was of Skipper, she didn't want to play with him all the time. And when the children who lived in the neighborhood came along, she was glad to see them. they invited Susan to play in the vacant lot with them. Larry said, "Come and play with us. We're digging a trench." Mike said, "If you'll come and play with us, you can have one of our shovels." "You should see our trench," Pete said. "It's long and wide and deep, too. We're having fun." "I'd like you to play with us," said Betty. "I've been hoping a girl would move into our neighborhood." "Please come." Susan decided to play with the children. She asked Skipper to come along. But Skipper refused to go. He didn't like the looks of these new children, and he wouldn't play with them. While Susan and her new friends went off to have a good time, Skipper stayed at home on the porch. "I won't have anything to do with such funny-looking children," he told himself. So he just stayed there and sulked. Now there were some dogs in this neighborhood. They belonged to Susan's new friends. They played together, too. When they saw Skipper sitting alone on the porch, they came over to ask him to join them. But when the first dog came up and invited Skipper to play, Skipper looked at him and barked a mean bark. "I won't play with you," he said. "You have a funny shape." The first dog's feelings were hurt, so he turned around and left. The second dog came up to Skipper. "Come and play with us," he said. But Skipper didn't like the size of this dog. He was too big, so he snarled and barked at him, telling him to go away. The big dog backed away. He was a nice dog and didn't want to fight. Skipper looked at the third dog, who was still sitting on the lawn. And he snarled and barked again in the meanest voice he could manage. "I don't like the color of that dog's coat," he said to himself. He snarled and barked some more. And he chased the new dogs all the way down the street. As Skipper trotted back to the porch, he thought to himself, "I certainly won't play with dogs like those. I don't like their looks. I'll just wait until a dog who's the right size, shape, and color comes along, or I won't play at all." So Skipper just sat, and sat, and sat. But soon he got tired of sitting. He decided to look for something to do. "No, Skipper, don't go into the garage. There's poster paint in there." "No, Skipper." "Skipper!" Uh-oh, poor Skipper. Poster paint all over him. And off he went to find Susan to ask her to clean him up. As he started down the street, he met the first dog. "Go away," said the dog. "Go away, you look funny." Skipper was surprised. No one had ever spoken to him like that before. But the new dog sounded so angry that Skipper thought he'd better leave. And then he met the second dog. The second dog looked at Skipper and said, "Go away, you're funny." "Maybe you don't remember me," Skipper said to him. "I'm Skipper. You wanted to play with me before." "Not now," said the second dog. "Go away." He sounded angrier than the first dog, and just as Skipper was about to leave, The other dogs came up. Hiding behind the big dog, the third dog said, "Go away, Skipper. We don't like you." Skipper had had enough. "Look," he said, "you're all being pretty silly. This is just paint on me. It's only on the outside. Inside, I'm no different than I was before." "You're the silly one," said the big dog. "We don't care what you're like on the outside. It's inside that matters. And inside, you're not a nice dog." And then the three dogs chased Skipper all the way home. Back on his front porch, Skipper felt very sorry for himself. He whimpered and complained in the saddest voice he could manage. In the vacant lot where she was playing, Susan heard Skipper. With the other children following her, she raced off to see what was wrong. As soon as she saw him, she knew what was wrong. She went into the house for soap, water, and a wash tub. In the backyard, all the children helped give Skipper a good bath. And while they washed him, Skipper did a lot of thinking. "I have been a silly dog," he said to himself. "Imagine not liking others because of their looks." While the children dried him, he thought some more. Size, shape, or color make no difference after all. Being nice is the only thing that counts. And being nice is something inside. Nothing else really matters. After Skipper was washed and dried, everyone went back to play in the vacant lot. The other dogs were there. Skipper said to them, "I'm sorry about the way I behaved. I'd like to play with you now if you'll let me." After that, everyone played together and had a good time. And of course, Susan was very proud of Skipper.